Boom, we're live. Welcome to the stream. I'm Tommy, one half of 6 Foot Pigeons. This is our daily demo series, building tracks from scratch, live. Like, subscribe, hit the bell if you'd like to be notified as soon as we go live. Our music is on all platforms, just search 6 Foot Pigeons, and we have a full playlist of all of the demos in this series, link in the description. So today's plan, we're going to start with samples in Splice, riff on some vocals, build it out in Logic Pro, production, mix, bounce. So let's get to it. Now, what you'll see here on my screen is a little bit different than what you normally see when we start these daily demos. That's because I got a little bit of ahead of myself last night, opened up a session, randomly just picked up Splice, and the first thing that popped up was these 3 samples here, which I really gravitated towards. This was in the hip hop category, not in the trap category. So let's just listen to them real quick. So I just thought this was such a vibe, I couldn't help myself. I immediately went into Logic and I imported those 3 samples that we're hearing, bass, the main sample, and then the drums. And then I had to put some vocals down. So this is what I have here inside of Logic, and I exercised some restraint. I didn't want to take it full-fledged and get the entire idea materialized. I'd rather save it and let's do it together on the stream. But I did get going a little bit on some vocals, so check me out. I'll go step by step on what I added here. So we just got the beat, and just immediately this kind of melody and words stuck out to me, so I recorded it. Totally could be on, 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 totally could be on. So I really like that. And then what I immediately followed up with, just usually because there's a lot of space there behind what I'm putting in, so I went in and added some additional vocals a little higher up. Take a look at those. Totally could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on. And as you know, one idea leads to the next. So I went ahead and got another melodic idea. And so following that, I recorded this. And then I added back. Yeah, so I recorded some of that, and I know that I want to add additional vocals, and obviously I haven't done anything with the samples. I've only kept these 3. So what I think will be a good plan of attack for this daily demo today will be to enter back into Splice and mess around, see if we can add additional layers to these samples, and then bring them into the session, see if we could fully materialize this idea. So I think that's what we'll do right now. So one thing that does stick out to me though is that essentially all of the music is in this one sample, which is, you know, it's nice, but at the same time we're essentially anchoring an entire song on everything that's happening in this one track here. So what I want to do is maybe find some like-kind elements that we can use to keep this essence and this vibe, but where we don't feel absolutely anchored to this single sound the whole song. So let's go ahead and maybe try some keys or other. That's pretty cool. I like that. Maybe try others. Others usually has like samples, which you can understand when you hear this. It's like a proper sample usually that you can mess around with. Okay, so this is from the same kit. Sometimes it does this. So I guess it's a question, which of these do we like more? I do like that high pulsing. Let's try again. Yeah, they're just repping out this kit. Ooh. Okay, maybe we could do something with that. Pretty cool, a little too much. Is this one more or less busy than this one? I think I like that one more. Okay, so we'll remove the original sample and let's just keep going. Too much going on here. Maybe that first part of the loop is good enough though. Let's see. We can lose the horns. I'm curious about this. Okay, we'll keep it for now. Brass and winds, maybe? Try synth. That's a cool little addition. Okay, so all of them together sound chaotic, but I'm not planning on having them all be playing at once, so I'm just trying to imagine some sections here. Okay, these vocals. Could maybe bring those down an octave. Okay. Alright, so let's bring them in. Okay, so now we're gonna get Splice out of there. We're gonna just close it out since we don't need it anymore. And now we're gonna go ahead and make sure we don't have duplicate samples in here. These top three we brought back in, so that's gonna be this Hollywood, we can do away with that. That's gonna be these gramophone drums, we could do away with that. And then this Without You C minor, do away with that. And so then we have what we already started with, which was this. And now we got more. Okay. So I'm just gonna kind of freestyle adjust some of these things on the fly that come to mind, and as soon as things stop coming to mind, we'll get to our process. So firstly, these vocals are very cool right here, but they're too high. So I'm gonna option and then go down, and that brings down the by a semitone. So I do it 12 times to go down an octave. I'm gonna check the EQ, because it is a vocal element, which is nice, but I don't want it to conflict with the real vocals. So I'm ducking the mid-high. Maybe a little bit more. Okay. Maybe try some iZotope trash. Saturate it. Delicate harmonics. Okay. We'll get to the arrangement at some point, but for now I'm just going through one by one and trying to make these sounds fit into the grander composition we're trying to work with here. Totally could be on. 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 Okay, so this sound right here, I like it, but I don't like the extra. I don't mind it, but I could do without the high droning string that comes in and then the sax. So let's go ahead and just simplify. What the best way to do this is. Okay. Okay, so step number one, we already have this pace going. So let's mute that, just for now. I like it, I'm gonna keep it, but I wanna get the bass removed from this sample, because we're trying to isolate the keys. Isolate the keys, isolate the keys, isolate the keys. And I'm okay removing some texture, some background elements, because I just want the chords, and I want to get those as isolated as possible. So I'm going to try to identify the range that they're in, that they sit in, right around here. Now I want to find a good loop, maybe. So I'm not sure about that flutter. The flutter's nice, but does it pigeonhole us in terms of vibe? I say yes. So we're going to try and do something a little trippy, a little glitchy for a second. Yeah. Do it again. That might be all we need, and then we're gonna adjust it. I'm even wondering about this. Can I get out of that? Can I get out of that? Let's see. Okay. let's see if we can work with this. Now that we've stretched it, there's some artifacts in the sample. So what's important to me is that it still hits on the downbeats. Yeah. Okay, that sounded good. Now we might just mess around and put some crossfades just to make sure it's sounding as clean as possible. Crossfades, and then a little fade in, a little fade out, and we might be in business with this loop. Okay, so that loop is steady now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to see about maybe putting a little additional filtering of the high end. What if I did both high and low filter? Sometimes doing this when you remove the high-low and make it extreme, it's good to identify the core frequency. Because different sounds have different ranges that certain elements are playing in, so it's like, okay, maybe I want the lower aspect of these to be shining, so I'll identify where that is, and then maybe I'll reverse engineer from that point. Just an idea. I'm not sure if I'll do that here, but sometimes I like to do that if there's like, there's a high end in a sample, there's a low end in a sample, be like, okay, where's the high end? Identify that. Where's the low end? Identify that, and then work with that knowledge. So I do want it to be a little bit more low heavy. So the question is, do I put a low and a high pass, or do I just put the high pass? I think I'll just do the high pass for now because I don't want to lose any of the low end that I really am valuing right now. Okay, that sounds good. Since we've removed a lot, sometimes when you tear it down to build it back up. So now I'm going to go little radiator, see if I can add a little bit more girth to this. Don't want to overdo it. Okay, now let's see if it needs to be narrower, because now it's low heavy. We don't want it to be too wide in the mix. First, let's see how mono sounds. Could work, loses something, so let's keep it just narrow but not mono. Okay, drums, let's go. Okay, bring in iZotope trash. Saturate delicate harmonics, just uplift some of the musical components of every sample you put it on. Okay, now I'm hearing a little bit of too much happening at certain parts of this, so I think I did like this mix, or this preset a little bit better on the radiator. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a compressor just to make sure that this is behaving properly. We want to control it. We don't want to leave our song up to the whims of the sample and if it's going up and down in mix. So we want to control that. So you can see how certain parts, the volume is just getting all the way louder than other parts. Let's tone that back. So anything above this threshold that we've set is going to be toned down twofold. Sometimes you can compensate and you can turn up the whole gain because of that. In this case, I think I will make the attack a little sharper so it is a little more controlled. And when you bring the attack down, you can bring the threshold up to taste. Yeah. So sometimes I like to identify the low point of the sample, like right here towards the end. You'll see that the levels are just getting right. Yeah, pretty much right to this line. So that's where I'm going to set it, and I'm going to put anything above that pretty strong 2.5 ratio, turning it down. Keep it in pocket. And I'm going to bring the imager to the back just to make sure it stays narrow. And I think we're feeling pretty good about where this sample is now. So just as a reference, this is what we were working with before we put anything on. And after EQ, filter freak, radiator, compression, saturation, and range and imaging, now we got this. And matter of fact, I will turn it up a little more. And then sometimes when you go this hard on sampling something, I like to double back on the EQ at the end of the chain just to make sure everything is still in order. So I may yet again put a low EQ to make space for the bass that I know is going to be there. So this note right here is kind of going to be competing with the kick, so there we go. And just for good measure, let's keep the top end just absolutely open for vocals. It's a little overkill and it's totally optional. I just like to do it to make sure the mix is where I want it. Okay. And now let's cook. Okay. So these drums, usually when you bring in a drum loop like this, it's gonna have kick, hi-hat, snare, shaker, crash, etc. all on one track, which is nice and convenient when you're bringing it in and brainstorming the idea. It's less convenient when you start trying to mix it. So what I like to do, because the kick and the hi-hats and the snares, they're mixed differently, is just ground zero is I separate the kick from the loop. And I try to find the cleanest non-kick replacement for the loop so that we can, in theory, remove all of the kicks and the drums are still going to play with the same energy. So let's listen through. The kicks are very persistent, so at least fortunately there's not like hi-hats that are competing. It's really just that. The vinyl. It's the vinyl white noise. Maybe this vinyl white noise will take place. Let's see. And what if you double that? Oops. Here. Okay, so then real quick, what we want to do is we don't want the vinyl crackling to play on the kick. Okay. So we'll adjust that, but let's go ahead and just map this out, see how this sounds. Okay, because of the white noise, we're gonna actually need to alternate and switch around which parcel of white noise we use. Okay, I may actually just take this entire, let's see how this sounds. And there's some swing. Here's an issue we might come across, but we're going to work around it, is there's some swing in these drums. So if I go and I just find one kick and I map it all the way across, I might lose some of the swing. But the purpose that I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get the underbelly of the beat, the bass layer that we could build on top of. So I actually don't mind if it's simplified a little bit. That sounds real good. See, look at that swing right there. It's not even close. But what happens if I remove the swing? Is it going to ruin the song? I think we're going to have to deal with it, and I don't mind it. So let's go ahead and remove it. Let's use this as our loop. Sounded good to me. got anybody in the chat? Yo, shout out if you're here. Let me know how it's sounding. Okay, so now what we got here is the vinyl and the snare. But let's clean up some of the low of the vinyl. Again, I mean, it's nice, but I don't want it to conflict with the kick or the bass when it comes in. So let's just tone down that a little bit. Kyle, my G, happy you're vibing with it. We'll keep it going. Welcome to the stream. We're here every day on weekdays. Would love for you to hit a subscribe and keep the chat alive with your input. Okay, so now we got the kick here. Sounding very clean already, which I'm happy about. Of course, we took out a lot of this top end of it. One could say we've taken out too much, but that's for us to figure out over time. What I like to do here is I'm gonna go, you know what? So I made a kick effects track specifically for these purposes because almost without fail, there's a chain that I like to do. So let's just see how this works. So I'm gonna bring this down to this new kick effects track. Now, of course, we got to bring that EQ back. So EQ, duck it. And with kick, almost across the board, I go mono. It's already mono. Max Bass by Waves is a great tool. This multimedia preset really puts it in an envelope. Yeah, Kyle, I can also hear a synth lead coming in at some point. Maybe we could discover that later on. But this definitely has a lot of space where that can live. So okay, now iZotope Trash is a really good saturator. This push-pull preset really just, it kind of does what it says it does. It makes it just punch when the transients are high in the sample. So without, it's kind of a little more flat throughout. It's very subtle, but I'm not even sure if it comes through on the mix, but it punches a little bit more. So there you go. Now, extra credit, one of my favorite tools that usually makes drums and kicks just punch harder is Smack Attack by Waves. So this excitement for drums, again, does what it says it does, but you usually less is more with this. We're just a little touch of it, some sprinkles, rather than dressing the whole thing up with it, is going to make it sound how you want it. So let's hear how this sounds with and without. Just a very small difference, but I like it. EQ now, again, extra credit. I usually bring down a little bit of the lowest end because the kick is usually within that almost like 40 to like 120-ish range. That's where it thrives. Where when the bass is also coming in, I don't want them to conflict. I want them to supplement each other. So that's why I'm doing this here. And so the chain, the kick chain, kick started like this. Now we're working with this. Way more controlled. It's been domesticated. So now this with the drums. Okay. Now, what was that element we were touching before? Was it this one? No, that's the bass. All right, fine. Let's go straight to the bass. So bass, similar to the kick, the lower you are in the mix, the closer to mono you want to be. And in this case, I want to be all the way mono. I like the natural sounding bass. Of course, we can go in 808 this thing out, but for the sake of an expedient demo here, I'm going to go ahead and just keep this bass. In theory, we could always go and replace the bass with our own bass at any point. But to get an idea out, I really think this does its job. So now, let's go max bass. Different preset for the bass than for the kick here. Diaz Bossum, it's still on my list to figure out how to spell it or to pronounce it. Point being, this preset, you bring down the frequency to the low, 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 to the low, low, and it really just helps add some hair on the chest of any bass you're working with. Okay, now let's go ahead, Soundtoys, little radiator, add some more. Beef. Not too much. That's pretty good. Let's keep it going. Try something. Usually I use this Refuse software low ender on 808s and it works very well. I'm going to see actually how it sounds with more acoustic bass. So it really just brings the low end. It's low ender. Again, a lot of these plugins, they do what they say they do. This one, it really just enhances the low end of the bass. So you hear if I go all the way, it's just like so subby and woofy, but we want to maybe that works. Let's color this. Red is my color for bass. Don't ask me why. Okay. Now, what were we working on? We were working on this, right? And as we mentioned, so this is very low end, right? So we already preemptively took some low end, but you can almost hear now how the bass that we selected and these keys are a little bit conflicting in the low end. So maybe we really just gut this thing from the low. And there's a little bit of illusion with producing sometimes, because if you listen to just this keys by itself now that we took out so much of the low, you'd be completely justified to be like, no, it sounds better with the low all the way in. But then once you bring in the other elements of the song, all of a sudden the tapestry of what you're making gets a little more complicated. And it's not so simple as, oh, this sound sounds better solo like so that's how it should be in the song. No, in this case, I like better how it sounds with the low end in isolation. But then when we're bringing it in, again, to connect it to this tapestry of music we're making, it needs to be removed, some of that low end, so it can coexist with the bass, with the kick, and then with the lower vocals. So that's what we're working with here. Duplicate this out. The question is this now the foundation of our beat? Because we started with this sample, love the sample, and it definitely has a space, but maybe we can mutilate it, remove it. I don't like being pigeonholed by, like, essentially the music is already the music is figured out through and through in this sample. You can even hear the bass is in there, the synth is in there, the vocals are in there. I'm just not sure if we want to have to be confined to that. It's fire. So we have a few different, like, almost versions of this, so maybe we find the most simple one. So this one, again, it has the bass in there. We can't have two basses going on, so okay, that's already a lot better. Let me try something else that I don't always do, but when I do use it, it's very rarely a bad move. Waves, Vitamin. There are periods of time where this is my favorite plugin. So it's a multi-band saturator, if you will, But what I really like to use it as is like, okay, I just want to identify where, like certain elements that I want to play within this sample. So this frequency here, I like this frequency, so I can narrow this frequency down. Maybe add in a higher one. So without it, you can hear the low end is thriving. With it, the low is almost non-existent. Now let me try something. So I'm gonna bounce this as in. I'm comfortable locking that in. First, try it an octave down. I like that, that's cool. I really like that. Take some of the mid-low out, keep space up top for the vocals to come back in, and we're going to build out the vocals here just in a moment. Once we get the beat feeling exactly how we want it, we're going to move on to the vocals. How's it sound? Bass back in. Now I like these accents in the bass, but I do wonder if simpler's better. Now this bass also has a little bit of swing to it, so I'm gonna mess around with it. Okay, now let's fade that out a little bit. With these samples, sometimes I just like to simplify them by default because it gives me more creative freedom to do stuff on top of them. So it's like, I didn't dislike the groove and the melody of the bass. This just gives me more freedom. And more freedom, more good. Okay. Now, do the keys come back in right? Okay, let's pan these keys to the left, keep them narrow. Let's go to the synth. Do they belong very narrow? That sounds pretty clean, or very wide. When in doubt, I go narrow to leave space for the vocals that I already know I'm going to need to have a little bit of left, right, panning to give them life. So with that in mind, how's it sounding? Still sounding good? Let me know in the chat. We got any regulars in here? I forgot about this. our compressor. Let's go find a good range to put that ratio. So now I might do a little bit of panning on this. So one of my favorite tools for panning, Soundtoys Pan Man. I really like this random ambler. You can offset it left or right, but it kind of picks random values and pans accordingly. You can make it more or less wide. So if I want to keep it panning randomly but still narrow, we'll go here, minimize the width. And we'll make it soft. We don't want it to be jagged when it goes left and right. We kind of want it to flow left and right. Just a little bit of texture. Okay, that's sounding good. Now, we'll do away with the whole bass section. And let's go ahead and see if we can supplement the drums a little bit here. Okay. How does it sound perfectly quantized? Okay, if we swing it, it doesn't do anything. Let's see how it sounds if we just stagger it. What if we remove it when the snare hits? Bring the velocity down on the downbeats. Flamo, welcome in. Yeah, Heart Flamo. We started actually with the hip-hop category on this one, not the trap category, so switched it up a little bit. Definitely getting a little bit of Frank Ocean, I feel you. So maybe we'll start mixing in some of this hip-hop genre as opposed to trap all the time. We can always go into the trap and make something aggressive, but this is kind of fun if we want to make something a little more soulful, and I'll show you in just a little bit the vocals that we got on top. That's actually what started this out, so we'll get there. But pleasure to have you back on with us, Flamo. Let's bounce this. Does it sound any better transposed down? Oh yeah, definitely room for some West Coast energy here. A little bit of Dom Kennedy. Definitely getting some Dom Kennedy. Enhance the Let's see. Bounce, extend, up two semitones. Stock Logic plugin for you, Exciter, add silver, brings up the high end. So if you ever want like the high essence of something to shine through in lieu of the low, add silver, Exciter. Mild excitement. Double down on making the clap a little more excited. Definitely think it adds. Okay, cool. Should we do anything else here with the drums? Brought it down an octave. Maybe I'll layer it with my own voice. Okay, let's see. Does that add or subtract? Right here. What do you guys think about these drum accents? Boom. I dig that. Perfect, but that might help. Yeah, I was gonna do that. Jose, I was gonna bounce it. Could just pitch him down in here. For simplicity, I might just try this. down, bring back the iZotope trash. Heart Flamo, that's the goal of all real homies. We always gotta be hyping one another. Always gotta be hyping one another. Okay, now that we're feeling pretty good about this, could always be better, but we're on our way. Now, let's see what we got with these vocals that we're gonna take a look at. Before we even get into it, that intro. Whoa. Hello. That intro is just clean enough that it makes me want to just start out with a little maybe vibe. Hey. Yeah, totally. These right here, Flamo. See if I can hit those right. Or maybe add some extra. Totally could be on. Totally could be on. Totally could be on. Shorten this. Totally could be up. Wait, hey, keep it. Totally could be up. Sometimes it pays to be greedy. for this part. Totally could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, we could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, we could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, we could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, we could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, we could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, or we could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on. We could doctor that up. Totally could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, we could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, we could be on, totally 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 could be on, we could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, we could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, we could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, we could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, totally could be on, we could be on, totally could be on, Okay, let's get this going. Come on. We could be all the way. We could hear what you say. We could be on the way. We could be all the way. I can hear what you say. We could be all the way. We could be every day. We could be Okay, let's shorten that loop and let's just write it out. Come on. I can hear what you say. Little movement we could sway. We could be all the way. I can hear what you say. Little bounce we sway. Every moment, every day. We could be all the way. Little bounce and sway. Every moment, every day. We could be all the way. I can hear what you say. Little bounce and sway. Every moment, every day. We could be all the way. I can hear what you say. Little bounce and sway. Every moment, every day. We could be all the way. I can hear what you say. Little bounce and sway. Every moment, every day. We could be all the way. I can hear what you say. A little bounce and sway. Every moment, every day. We could be all the way. I can hear what you say. Little bounce and sway. Every moment, every day. We could be all the way. I can hear what you say. Little bounce, little sway. Every moment, every day. We could be all the way. I can hear what you say. Little bounce, little sway. Every moment, every day. We could be all the way. I can hear what you say. Little bounce, little sway. Every moment, every day. We could be all the way. I can hear what you say. Little bounce, little sway. Every moment, every day. We could be all the way. I can hear what you say. Let's put it left and right. Bounce, little sway. Every moment, every day. We could be all the way. I can hear what you say. Little bounce, little sway. Every moment, every day. How we sound in chat. I can hear vibe check. Little bounce, little sway. Every moment, every day. We could be all the way. I can hear what you say. Little bounce, little sway. Every moment, every day. We could be all the way. I can hear what you say. Little bounce, little sway. Every moment, every day. We could be all the way. I can hear what you say. Little bounce, little sway. Every moment, every day. We could be all the way. I can hear what you say. Little bounce, little sway. Every moment, every day. We could be all the way. Loving it so far. Let's go. Oh well. Okay, bring that back a little bit. Is that bass note? Should we bring those back? Do they have a place later on? Let's just try it out. Too much. How about here? Okay, there we go. Okay, that's sounding great. Ooh, I might keep that on. That's sounding great. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and add a master. But while we're doing that, we're gonna keep an eye on the arrangement. You know how it is. Simple master, multi-band dynamic compression, multi-band imager, maximizer. That's it. So let's go. Yeah. I try to tell you. Time out. That's actually too cold. 1 second. Yeah. I've been trying to tell you way too long. Been trying. Totally could be on. Totally. Okay, let me just try one more thing. Now we're going to add a little bit more panning, random pan to that cool telephone sounding background. So we're going to go pan man like we did a moment ago. We're going to go to random ambler, offset it a little bit to the left, pretty wide, and let's make it soft smoothing. Okay, back to the master. Pardon the interruption. Just control the low end a little bit with this compression. Same thing for the mid-low. Don't want to overdo it. That looks good right there. So this one's lower than the rest, so I think I might actually be able to turn up the mid-highs. Sounding great. Mono low end. Tight mid-low. Boom, that's sounding great. So I think that we're good to go. And we're gonna, like we do every single demo, play it start to finish, no interruptions, see what we made, reflect on it, and get out of here on this Friday. So let's do it. Passed. That passed the vibe check. So there we go. A little bit of a departure from what we've normally been making. We've been kind of sitting in the trap realm, but this one here is a little bit more soulful hip hop, and really like the emotion of the vocals, but it's not so emotional that it's sad or sappy. It's just kind of you're in your feels. It's a little bit of summer. It's a little bit of blues, but not too much. It's like it's a nice combination. It's like a late summer. You're kind of, you're a little bit feeling yourself. You're a little bit in your feels, but you're still keeping it real. So that's what I'm getting out of this, and that does it. Appreciate every one of you guys hanging out. Link in the description if you want to listen to this and every other demo we've made in this series. If you got something from today's session, would mean the world if you just hit the like, subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified as soon as we go live next time, and you can join us in early. We'll be doing this weekly. So far, it's been every day on weekdays, so check in. And if you've got any suggestions or requests, drop them in the comments. And that's it, fellas. See you next time. Peace out.